we're going to shift gears and go into communication, because we also talked a little bit about the head coach. And I would like to address several positions in the staff or in the team as well. But let's start with the head coach position in terms of communication. So what's your relationship with the head coach in a day-to-day basis? And like, where do you see you need to be involved? And like you also mentioned earlier, what are the situations where you see like you stay in your lane and you stay away and you don't get involved in?
By far the most difficult job. A job that somehow gave me the idea to be, I don't know, so this feeling to be alone. I don't know how I can explain, because a lot of times, wins are coming, we put the trophy somewhere. Things are doing bad. Usually people point the finger on the head coach. It's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, the words of Saras was really nice, talking about how difficult is that job, somehow miserable. The pressure, I mean, is so difficult, so difficult. I always think that, unfortunately, the coach, bring the job at home all the day with the mind, thinking the player is. It helps me a lot that 2 years that I was assistant coach in Milano to really understand how difficult is that job. That is not true that you just finish to play, things about that job. That's a huge mistake. Even that you have to work, you have to study to be ready to make that job. And how much support you need. You need a coach that can be even few words before the game, in the moment that, there is a stress, just pass there and talk even maybe about something else, just to be, depends. You have to, that I think every coach is different. I always say this, there is no better coach or worse coaches. This is my opinion, my personal, but every coach is different. Mm-hmm. And that's the beauty of it's, at the end of the day, it's about relation with people. Coach know that I'm there. Must be a strong relation between us. Must be a proactive relation on things, supporting things, and this is nice. I mean, it's about relation. It's about relation. I really love it. I really love it. And I go back on what I said before. I always be very clear with the coaches that I work, and that always very good relation is they know that I'm there. If they need to ask or they need to go deeper, I will not step in some things. And in some clubs there are not owners. Who's the owner? Some clubs has one owner, some clubs has a board of members. So depends. It's important that position, you have to work with the coach, with the top management on this, to be kind of team together. And this I really believe, because we ask sometimes to the players to be a team together, but the best example is what we give them.
Yes, this is key, I think, for every organization. That, like I also mentioned earlier, that the players, they don't only see, they feel. Like, players are very intuitive people as well, because they feel their body, they feel the situation. They
see everything.
Yes.
X-ray.
Yes.
They come, and that's why I say that the job of the coach is tough. You can have even a problem outside. When you step there, players are coming inside the court, X-ray, they understand everything. Yeah. Is a bad mood, is a good mood, the way, the body language is, so they see everything. They see everything. That's good.
But that's also one thing that I wanted to hear your opinion. I'm sure I think it's an obvious one, that the disagreement with the coach, because you can also you are a support system for the coach, for sure. But you also see that there is something that you disagree with, whether it's because you have your experience as a player and you have your experience at a high level. You see certain things that maybe you would address. How do you address it, and when do you address it to the head coach?
The when is something very important.
Yes.
The when is something very important. You cannot do it. Maybe you can do it not right away, because I really don't like after the game to go much on details in the wins and in the loss. I think, when your heart still with good rates, your blood, you are excited for this. I think is not always the best moment to go on things. So maybe the day after, in front of a coffee in his office, I think there is a right moment. But that's a relation that has to be of communication. You build it with trust. Trust and respect are the two words that are not working only between relation of sport director of head coach, but in relation in our life. And I think that's can be even some critics, but even that is the way you do things, the way I always like to make even question before. I never had the idea that I know things. This is my personal way that I do things. I like to be informed. I'm a very curious person, not only in sports, in everything. So it's nice to have a communication with a coach for many different things.
I think it's the key thing here is, like you said, is the relationship has to be built to the point where whenever you are having coffee with the coach and you are addressing or you're asking a question that could be challenging, that the coach, or in that moment, is also a friend, because you are a support system and you are trying to come to a solution, that he doesn't take offense to it. Sometimes coaches take a defensive position and, oh, you're trying to attack me, you're trying to challenge me. No, I'm not challenging you. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this disagreement that I see, or there's something that a small detail, maybe we could be doing something else. And then there has to be mutual respect from the position to position, but also from person to person.
Absolutely, yes. Person to person is the key at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because there is in some cases you see more your colleagues, your coaching staff, that your family on time, for sure. Trips here, we are part of the same family. We have to share things. That is not going to be always on basketball side. It's going to be even different things, and this make you understand, make you know the people better. All those are nice words, okay, because that's supposed to be the goal. Of course, if you're having a winning season, everything is easier.
Yeah,
everything is. When the season not so tough, you have as much as the other times to be very, very, how can I say, straight, very, very, very clean, the way you propose yourself without any misunderstanding. That's, I think, it's go back on the feeling that you have somebody that is next to you to be part of the things. Don't get too much, don't feel them too much responsible. I'm here. If to say sometimes my fault, I think is something that make you closer in things. And I have this idea, especially I got back because in different difficult moments of the season, especially when as let's say not a good season, there are some moments that you have to take some decision to support the coach, and you have to show this to the players, to take away, to clear the floor for any misunderstanding. Or because as we said, they can see everything. Nothing worse than to see some bad relation between management.